All India Rank 1 in IISER Aptitude Test 2026, All India Rank 1 in NEST, top rankers in JEE and NEET. Do you know what they had in common? Number one, they knew the differences between IAT, JEE, NEET and NEST. Of course, they avoided the mistakes that you have done so that you have to take a drop year this year in 2026, and might be you're targeting your dream college, which can be Indian Institute of Science in 2027. But in this video, I'm going to exactly give you the things which can be pivotal in your preparation journey if you're preparing from scratch or you have already been doing that for last some months. For IAT 2027, I'm going to give you the exact roadmap that has worked for these toppers in IAT and can work for you as well if you follow those pointers diligently. I'll tell you what exactly you need to do month on month, what exactly is the difference between IISER Aptitude Test, JEE, NEET and NEST, and what are the brutal mistakes you need to avoid in order to secure a top rank. Hello everyone, this is Soumya Prakash. Let's get started with the video. The roadmap for IAT 2027. Stay with me till the end of this video for the next few minutes because you're going to get lots of insightful and perspective and experiences, having seen thousands of students going to prepare for IAT and coming across, making those mistakes, following this particular roadmap that produces top rankers for ISc, IISER, IITs and many more. By the way, if you don't already know, ISc admissions are in the progress and more than 25 students this year from SciAstra have joined ISc. If ISc is also your dream institute, let me know in the comments. ISc is my dream institute. I am ready. Let's get started. Of course, this is not going to be a motivational video. I'm going to tell you the step-by-step formula, the mantra that has been working for hundreds and thousands of students for the past few years. Now, to start with, if you prepare for IISER Aptitude Test with the same mindset as JEE, of course, you are falling behind thousands of students. This, of course, despite of this video, I know thousands of students are going to commit this particular mistake. But if ISc is your dream institute, you have commented below, then you must avoid this particular notion. IISER Aptitude Test is not equal to joint entrance examination, mains and advanced. I'll tell you, it sits rightly between JEE and your NEST examination. Of course, it's more difficult, and the level of difficulty and the level of questions standards is much higher than NEET exam. So this is what most of the students are going to make the mistake about. So if you're PCM, you're preparing for JEE, you think IAT can be done in a similar manner. Of course, there is good overlap of the syllabus, more than 80% I would say, but the kind of questions, right, are radically different if you see. So most droppers carry over a JEE NEET strategy, and that is the number one mistake that you might also be making, and this does ruin your rank, okay, believe me. By the way, if you are a PCM student, then let me know in the comments, yes, PCM student, and what has been your top strategy for JEE. Now, let's see. So in JEE, you must be aware that questions are more numerics oriented. You need to beat time, okay? The number of questions you need to attempt in 5 minutes, in 3 minutes, in 10 minutes varies differently than IISER Aptitude Test, wherein you have to attempt 60 questions in 240 minutes, out of which 15 questions are from biology, which you can solve in average of 30 seconds to 1 minute in between. So roughly you have to solve 45 questions in around, let's say, 210-20 minutes, which gives you good number of time to solve per question. I'm assuming that ISc is your dream college, so I'm telling you from the perspective of scoring 220 plus marks via this pointers that I'm going to discuss in this video. So you need to be very well versed with your depth, your concepts, the ability to apply those concepts in multiple subjects, because sometimes maths is also being applied in biology questions in IAT. If you don't know, check the PYQs by checking out SciAstra's free material section on the application. Okay, it has all the PYQs, answer keys, many free mock tests, other free resources, lectures to start your IIT preparation with. Definitely go download the SciAstra application, check out free material section for your knowledge, right? And concept based is the most prioritized thing in IISER Aptitude Test as compared to facts, information in JEE. So in JEE, mostly the chemistry question, the physics question, if you see, they are formula based, right? Let's say a projectile is given, you might be preparing right now, kinematics, laws of motion, a projectile is there. The scenario would be a bit trivial and calculations would be complicated, and you're tested, your calculation skills, your remembering skills, your recalling skills about that particular formula. But in IAT, the calculation is not given the first priority, but the concept is. So they would twist the situation. They would probably come up with a hypothetical scenario also and ask you what happens in that exact scenario. So your thinking in the first 30 seconds in solving every question in IAT matters the most. And this is exactly you need to practice in your drop year while preparing, because it comes from habit, right? It does not happen overnight and you end up doing the same mistake that you have done this year. If you're from class 12th, this is true for you as well. And that is why thorough understanding versus quick execution is always, of course, IIT will have some questions which will need you to execute very quickly and recalling some formulae and your learning knowledge and all that stuff. But it will be more in JEE, which you mostly practice for, right? In our time, when I used to practice for JEE Advanced, you always used to put a timer alongside my table and preparation books, because I was aiming to solve particular questions, number of questions in 30 minutes in 1 hour. And that was my target, my benchmark. Whereas in NEST, when I appeared for NEST examination, because I was a student at NISER, I did not care much about time, rather how accurately I'm solving those questions and how precisely I'm arriving at the answers. I'm deducing the answers in all 4 subjects. So that was the major difference between JEE, IAT and NEST, right? And of course, NEST is towards the higher side comparable to JEE Advanced. Already said, JEE speed wins, and in IAT NEST, the conceptual depth and clarity is going to win. Now, starting from zero means no wrong habits to unlearn, correct? If you start with some wrong habits, let's say of rote learning or not following much on conceptual depth, then this is going to stay with you for the rest of the year, and of course, you are going to lose marks. So beware of this. Now, let's exactly see what the roadmap is that you should be following. Now, this is what is called a month-to-month preparation. You effectively have around 10 or so odd months in your hand. You don't have the exactly have the 1 year, 12 months in your hand. You know that, right? Because exam is going to happen in the month of May. Now, while starting, you always need to focus on foundation and building the basics. It might take time. I understand. As a PCM student, I also did biology, but that is most important thing you need to start your preparation with. Of course, on the first day, you cannot directly attempt solving the previous year questions of IAT, NEST, JEE, NEET. If you have not done the theory properly, exemplary problems. Of course, if you are in SciAstra's offline batch at Bengaluru or KALAM batch, then you know what I am talking about. Because this is what your faculties are already doing, right? Via the bridge classes, elementary classes. And when you are done with your foundation from most likely NCERT, if you preparing by yourself, in physics, chemistry, maths, bio, of course, maths and physics can deviate a bit from NCERT, but chemistry, bio, NCERT is a must. Even if you're PCM, start with NCERT biology. If you're a PCB, start with NCERT maths. Okay, that's going to work. And of course, come to SciAstra's application or website. You will find extremely good resources to cover mathematics if you are from biology background. So no need to worry about it. I'll tell you more in the upcoming minutes. But when your foundation is done, you do good level of problems, you raise your standards up, you elevate them by solving questions at the difficulty level of IAT NEST. Now, when you are done with your foundation, the most important thing is to raise your standards up and solve questions relevant to IAT, JEE, NEET. Of course, when you keep solving for JEE or IAT, you will know that you will feel the difference in conceptual depth and clarity and calculation depth again, right? So for this, you can use mastering books. We have ample, they are good combination 11, 12 board. You can use the mock test book. If you are in KALAM 3.0 or SciAstra Bengaluru batch, again offline, or any offline batch for that matter, you know what I'm talking about. These books are given to you and delivered to your home and all that. When that is done, in second stage itself, you also touch a bit upon the PYQs, okay? Let's say you start with the theory of the chapter, you are done. You do some example problems around 80, 100, 120, you're done. You solve 50, 80 relevant questions, you're done, and then you touch upon PYQs. At this stage, you should be able to solve the PYQs of that particular chapter. Now, in a few chapters, you will require a bit less hard work than this. In few chapters, you would require a bit more. But in an average, this is the crux that works for most of the students. That has also worked for people like us. Now, once that is done, let's say you're done with 6, 8, 10 chapters, meaning roughly 30-40% of the syllabus, then you start attempting mock tests. Now, the biggest mistake that people do while attempting mock tests is attempting them only once. When you are done with the mock test, come back with your scores, see what were the marks you were expecting versus what were the marks you got, and analyze those marks, figure out was the question you're not able to solve, is it because any mistake, or is it because you have not studied, or is it because you have not solved that particular kind of question in your preparation journey so far. So that is going to give you the best clarity which no faculty, no mentor, no peer group can give you, right? Because you are now self-retrospecting your preparation. And attempt that mock once again, and this time you should be comfortably solving those questions and questions similar to them as well. That is how you keep on eliminating your mistakes by maintaining an error notebook also. Always maintain 2 notebooks, one for your concept, another while solving, while practicing, attempting mock tests. Keep a track of all the errors that you have made. Is it human error? Is it calculative error? Is it a factual error, or some other kind of mistakes? Because once you keep eliminating those mistakes, you will reach at a point where there won't be much errors to be made, and you will be seeing your scores in the range of 220, 30 and 40, and that is the aim target, right? Final target. And full mock test, of course, towards the year end. Okay, no point in attempting full mock test unless you have completed at least 80% of your syllabus. So that is also very pivotal. Again, if you're in SciAstra, connected with the SciAstra community, you already might have access to good resources, right? So this is about the roadmap, which diligently the toppers also have followed, by the way. The first picture that I just showed in the starting, Soumya Neil, he has followed the exact roadmap to crack multiple exams. Now, the 4 phases which we have just discussed about, to summarize, you have basically your foundation stage, your application stage, PYQ stage, and finally the mock test stage. Of course, if you have any question in this, let me know down in the comment section. I'll personally give you a reply, because this strategy has been working for thousands of students. And if you are comfortable with it, if you find an alignment, you can follow this same set of rules for your preparation also. You don't have to do 100% of the syllabus if you don't have maths or particular biology background, but it is possible in 1 year, or let's say 10 months, to finish at least 80-75% of the syllabus and fetch good marks out of it. And that can also give you IISc Bangalore. So this is about the roadmap and 4 stages. Now, subject rules that you must have to keep in mind. Of course, if you want to know in detail the interaction that we had with the mentors who are making it possible on ground, you can watch this video where all the 4 subject mentors have talked about the strategies that make IISc Bangalore possible for the toppers. So do not forget to watch this video. So yes, this is the slide, but in this particular video, those mentors have told you that IISc is possible if you're taking a drop year this year in 2026. So definitely go watch this. But physics mostly about applications, chemistry, some factual, some applications in physical chemistry, mathematics of course transcends towards physics, chemistry and biology everywhere. As far as IAT and NEST are concerned, because you might see mathematical questions are also being asked, right? So it's definitely very nice to have if you are able to solve good questions in mathematics, let's say from calculus, algebra or trigonometry, at least quadratic, basic maths, trigonometry, set theory, relations. These are a few that you should know as a biology student, and it's completely possible for you to get traction on that as well. Now, the final thing, the most brutal mistakes that people are already making. If you have made any of these mistakes, let me know in the comments that yes, this is particular mistake that I have made, and this was the reason behind my rank not being up to the mark, up to the standards that I wanted it to, right? The first one being no mock test. I have already mentioned, if you just do the theory part, some questions and some PYQs, but no mock test does not necessarily guarantee, in fact, does not guarantee at all, okay, so your selection in IISc Bangalore. Do not compare. Now, this lot of people may not realize as of now, but do not compare yourself to not just your JEE friends, but also NEET people, because their structure of preparation is completely different. They're solving physics, chemistry, bio, mostly at the level of NCERT, but NCERT for you is just the starting point, because you are proceeding to mastering books, you're proceeding to PYQs and much more than that, okay? So comparison with JEE, NEET 3 subject people has no meaning at all. Your journey will look different from them, and that is completely fine as long as you are able to follow this step-by-step process, theory, questions, PYQs. You're able to solve the PYQs. You feel that you have learned, you have grasped something. That is good. And all while through this journey, maintaining a note of all the errors, all the learnings that you are going through, right? Which, of course, most of the people are not habituated to doing. This is why I see only 50-60 people reach maximum and not thousands of people. But of course, this is just a few of the points that I just wanted to share with you today. Now, this is what I was referring throughout the video. If you're in KALAM batch, if you're connected to SciAstra community, because this is what KALAM looks like, class 12th and droppers in English medium. This batch has produced top rankers that have taken admission in IISc Bangalore, various IISERs, IISER Pune, Kolkata, many more, top IITs, ISI CMI also. And this is the community you wanted to be a part of, you would like to be a part of if you're preparing for IAT 2027 without even a doubt, because of course all 4 subjects are being taught by mentors you already know. If you don't, visit sciastra.com, check out KALAM batch. If you have any questions, any queries, let me know down in the comments. But this is the video that we have dedicatedly made for the droppers. If you are a class 12th student, let us know in the comments. We'll come up with something for you as well, because you have a different schedule, you have a different level of preparation, board exams and all that stuff. So we'll keep that in mind. Subscribe to SciAstra Bangalore for every single update related to IAT, NEST, JEE, NEET, your career counselings, your college counselings, many more. And any suggestions, comments, queries, criticisms for us, feel free to let us know. With that, see you in the next video. Bye. All the very best.